mynews.studio.
Brazil's Amazon city Belém has just turned into the center of a global energy transition. The question is, can the world keep up with the commitments made there?
Today is November 13th, 2025. Let's dive right in. 3 days ago, the UN Climate Summit, COP30, kicked off in Belém, Brazil. What's striking is the move from talk to action. We saw the agenda adopted faster than ever before at a COP, didn't we?
That's right. The agenda was agreed on the very first day, which almost never happens. Ambassador André Correa de Lago was elected as COP30 president and set the tone immediately. This summit is about action, inclusion, and innovation. Less talk, more doing. The sense of urgency was clear in the room.
But the headline for many was the pledge: triple global renewable power generation by 2030. That's from around 3,400 gigawatts in 2022 to over 11,000 gigawatts. It sounds enormous, but is that actually achievable?
It's an ambitious leap. To get there, we'd need to add roughly 1,000 gigawatts of renewable capacity every year. For context, only about 292 gigawatts were added in 2022. So,
Wait, so more than tripling the yearly rate? That's mostly solar and wind, right?
exactly. About 90% of the new capacity would come from solar and wind. The rest might be hydro, geothermal, or others. But solar photovoltaics alone needs to climb from just over 1,000 gigawatts in 2022 up to 5,400 by 2030.
And investment, how does that scale? Where's the money coming from?
The investment required is huge. Annual spending on renewables has to jump from $486 billion in 2022 to $1.3 trillion by 2030. Over 5 years, we're looking at about $12 trillion globally, 2/3 for renewables, the rest for grid upgrades and storage.
That's a massive influx of capital. But with so much at stake, how do we make sure countries actually deliver? Is there any real accountability?
The new framework puts regular reporting and peer review front and center. Countries have to update their nationally determined contributions, track fossil fuel phase-out, ramp up renewables, and double energy efficiency. There's no global enforcement, but transparency and peer pressure matter. Plus, digital platforms make the data public.
One of those digital tools, the Green Digital Action Hub, launched at COP30. It's open source, tracks climate action in real time, and it's based in Brazil. That's a direct outcome of this summit.
Yes, and apart from renewables, there's a big emphasis on energy efficiency. The goal is to double the annual improvement rate, from around 2% to 4% by 2030. That might sound a bit technical, but it's crucial. Using less energy means fewer emissions.
So what does that actually look like? Are we just talking about better light bulbs, or is it bigger than that?
It's a lot bigger. Think electrifying transport and buildings, rolling out heat pumps, making industry processes more efficient. Electrification alone is set to raise direct electricity use from 22% of final energy in 2020 up to 29% by 2030. It's a deep shift in how energy is used.
But the challenges aren't evenly spread. The summit highlighted that Asia, China, and India especially, is mostly on track to triple renewables. But regions like the OECD, including Japan, are behind. Japan, for example, might only manage a 50% increase this decade.
That's why COP30 and organizations like IRENA are pushing targeted strategies. More investment, modernizing grids, reforming policies, speeding up permits, sharing technology, and building up skills. The aim is to help areas lagging behind catch up.
Let's talk about the Loss and Damage Fund, possibly the biggest breakthrough at COP30. For the first time, it's operational, with $250 million already available for proposals. This is meant to support countries most affected by climate change. But how will it actually work?
The fund is managed by a joint committee of climate finance donors. They put out calls for proposals, prioritize those most in need, and rely on public reporting, audits, and oversight from development banks. It's designed for transparency and accountability. This is a real step toward climate justice.
Inclusion is a major thread this year. For agriculture, $2.8 billion has been pledged to help smallholder farmers adapt. And there's a new partnership, Brazil, the UAE, the Gates Foundation, and others, to launch an open-source AI language model for agriculture. That's a first.
The digital angle is critical. The Climate Digital Public Goods Collection now has more than 20 open-source tools reaching at least 30 countries. These tools cover things like disaster response and water management. It's about spreading knowledge and scaling up solutions quickly.
Even with all these initiatives, the numbers are sobering. If every pledge is met, global CO2 emissions would drop just 6% by 2030 compared to 2022. That's not enough for the 1.5 degrees target. So, are we making real progress or just talking?
That's the key issue. The systems are in place, the targets are set, the money's committed. But these next 5 years are going to show whether nations, investors, and society can actually deliver at this pace.
Are we at a turning point for climate action, or will this be another missed opportunity?
That's what we'll be tracking. The commitments are there. Transition, justice, innovation. Now comes the hard part, making it happen.
Today, we watch the Amazon become the center of global energy ambition. The question remains, can the world fulfill its promise? That's what we'll keep reporting on.
Thank you for joining us as we unpacked the big moves and even bigger challenges from COP30.
Stay tuned. The next 5 years will show if these pledges turn into action.
Thanks for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. You can try it now for free.